So we've got ourselves a mini free agency where teams can sign a plethora of players, and perhaps one of them could end up being an impact player for a team and when we get into the bubble and all that. So we might as well just go down some names. The first one I want to talk about is Jamal Crawford. To me, the only way that Crawford could actually be good for a team is if he was a spot-up guy. I think if you give him the ball and ask him to make plays and not chuck up bad shots and not shoot a bad percentage, then you're going to be disappointed. I know he had 50 in the last game. I don't care. I mean, the guy played 64 games last year. Why are we focusing on one? But who knows? Maybe depending on the team, Crawford could find a place. The next one to talk about, Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah, I don't know, man. Isaiah, I wouldn't risk it if I was a team, honestly, for Isaiah, because you know what you're going to get from him on defense, and you don't know what you're going to get on offense. And I feel like that's too much of a risk to use a roster spot on. I would love to see Isaiah back in the NBA like that, and he had some time for the Wizards where he was alright offensively, but we'll see. I guess that's all I got there. Shumpert is interesting. I think Iman Shumpert on his best day is a defense guy who can maybe make an open three-pointer. On his worst day, he's just kind of bad and doesn't even bring it for you defensively like that. But I feel like he was okay for the Clippers, not the Clippers. He never played for the Clippers. The Kings in last year when he started for them, and he shot well from three, gave him about 10 points a game. That's the most you're going to get out of Shumpert offensively. The Lakers, of course, are looking for a two-guard. I think the Thunder could use another wing. Is Shumpert the best defensive player out of everybody available? I mean, he might be, but then again, I don't think Shumpert is a guarantee to be good defensively for you. DeMarcus Cousins has already said that he doesn't want to come back. He wants to focus on next season. That's from Shams on Twitter saying. Trey Burke. Would I take Trey Burke over Brad Wanamaker for my Celtics? I probably would. Although maybe not, because Trey likes to shoot the ball, and I don't think the Celtics need another guy who looks to get his own shot. I think they just need a spot shooter. But I at least trust his ball handling abilities more than Wanamaker's. Another player that's interesting for me is Alan Crabb. And if you promised me that Alan Crabb was going to be able to actually shoot again, then I think my Celtics should 100% go for him. Another one could be OKC. Houston can never get enough three-point shooting. I think Crabb can help them, certainly. Here's the thing with Alan Crabb. He was a good shooter for about 4 years. And he was a very good one for 2 in Brooklyn. I mean, he shot 38% on about 6.5 threes a game in 2 years. And then this year, he was bad from outside. So I don't know, did he just lose the ability to shoot, or did he just have a rough few games? I mean, he never really got in the rotation for the Hawks, and he was not really on the Wolves at all. So if Alan Crabb can still make shots, then I think he is definitely somebody that teams should be interested in here. I guess similar things could be said for Ryan Anderson, but Ryan Anderson might just be washed, because he was never exactly the most athletic guy, and his defense was looking pretty rough towards the end there. And his shooting also fell off as well. So Ryan Anderson just might be done in the NBA. Now, I don't want to go into J.R. Smith too much because I do want to wait to see if the Lakers sign him. But to talk about J.R. a little bit, I mean, I think is he the most interesting available free agent? I kind of feel like he is. And on a good day, J.R. can give you some real three-point shooting, and on a bad day, he's not good. I mean, I guess that's just really what you're working with at this point. Lance Stevenson is another one where, we saw him with the Lakers last year. Lance was, he was Lance, is the best way to put it. I mean, the guy, look, he wanted to he was really upset that he wasn't an all-star when he averaged 13 a game for the Pacers that one year. And ever since then, Lance has been really up and down. He's been on so many teams, and no one has wanted to keep him like that, and he likes the ball in his hands, but he's not really a playmaker, and he can't really beat guys off the dribble like that. His shooting has waned throughout his career. So Lance is definitely risky, but perhaps there's a world in which if you put him on the right team with veterans and a good coach, and you just don't let him get out of line too much or don't let him over dribble, there could be a good NBA player in there. But I mean, to be honest, it's been so long since Lance Stevenson was definitely above average. I don't know, man. Gerald Green is an interesting one as well. I mean, Gerald, his three-point shooting has been pretty okay. I mean, I don't trust him like that defensively in tough playoff games or whatever, but if you just simply want him to stand in the corner and hopefully not suck from outside, he probably would be reliable enough. I mean, the last 2 years, Gerald Green, about 110 games played, about 36% on over 6 threes a game. Solid enough. Now, he was playing for the Rockets. Nobody else is going to be able to generate open looks for him like they could, but, like if Gerald Green was playing over Semi Ojeleye for the Celtics, I'd be okay with it. I feel like I'm going to end up making a rant video if I've watched Semi Ojeleye play in 2 straight playoff games when we eventually get to that point. In terms of big guys, I think the one dude to look at would be Nene, who declined a $4 million player option with Houston, which I don't know why he did that. Did he think he was going to get more than that? I have no idea. Maybe there was something more to that I don't know about. I mean, at this point, Nene, he'll basically just give you 13, 14 minutes of basic big man things, but that's probably not a horrible thing. I mean, I feel like he could have a similar thing to David West for the Warriors, where he doesn't do much, but he doesn't kill you. Box a couple guys out, finish a couple of easy layups, and if he starts getting torched in the pick and roll, then just take him out. I guess I should also mention Joe Johnson. No. I don't think Joe Johnson can still play in the NBA. He hasn't played in years now. I don't think that one would work out. CJ Miles is another one. CJ's kind of similar to Alan Crabb, where it's like he could shoot for a while and then suddenly stop being able to shoot. I don't know what to make of that one. I've seen people mention Jordan Bell a bit. I don't know. There was like 2 minutes in his rookie season where it was like, oh, this guy could be something, and then it was proven, no, wait, he can't really do much on the floor. I mean, he's got basically no offensive game, and defensively, he just doesn't really get the boring things of how to be a good defensive big guy. If I desperately needed a big, and it was between Nene and Jordan Bell, just give me Nene. I'll take the boring fundamental guy over whatever Jordan Bell is supposed to be. I suppose if Jeremy Lin is still available, then that could be something to talk about my Celtics again. I would trust his ball handling over Wanamaker's. Kenneth Faried is still out there, but I mean, are we still going to do the Kenneth Faried thing? Like, the guy hasn't found a place in the NBA for a pretty good reason. He was a rebounding power forward, and then the whole league shifted on him, and he hasn't been able to adjust his game to the center position. As far as some other super random names out there, there's Shelvin Mack, who had a bit of a moment for the Jazz when they traded for him at some random trade deadline. Does Luol Deng, technically he's still a free agent according to RealGM.com. So there you go. If you want to see if you can relive Luol Deng's good days. Michael Beasley, Wayne Selden, Ian Clark, Marshawn Brooks. I believe David Nwaba signed somewhere. Jody Meeks, he was a shooter at one point. Devin Harris is 37, but if you think you can get something out of him. Jonas Jerebko, I mean, his shooting, it was cool, but he took 9 years to shoot. So as a result, it kind of negated a lot of the things he gave you with his spacing. For all I know, some of these guys are playing overseas or something. There is Mba Mute, who was playing some good defense for the Rockets back when they had him. Marcin Gortat, he might be done. He's 36 years old. Apparently Miles Plumlee plays in the NBL. He did average 10 and 10 that one year for the Suns. Maybe he could be something for you. There's a lot of random names. And to be honest, most of them are probably done, but there could be a couple. There could be a couple diamonds in the rough. I guess this could also be an opportunity for a team who maybe isn't looking for a guy who can help them out right now, but someone that they can get and see if they like him and perhaps go to a longer contract after that, like some young player who has bounced around and hasn't really had success, but that team thinks he could be something. Have I mentioned Nick Young at all? Well, if I did, there you go. 11 minutes in, we got to Nick Young. I guarantee there was somebody 2 minutes into the video saying that I should mention Nick Young. You ever go down the NBA free agent list? It's like comedic, depressive, and also like, oh, look at that. Like Ron Baker. Remember that guy who the Knicks give a player option to? Andre Ingram. You could do that again if you want. He had some moments for the Lakers. Jared Cunningham. Alright, we're done. We're done. Mike Scott, but it's not the actual Mike Scott. It's a point guard Mike Scott. That's enough. Okay, there's a whole bunch of free agents available. We'll see who gets signed where. And that's it.